So I just found out we weren't recording. No, I'm just no, that was good. I think that's perfect.
That's a take. All right.
All
Hey,
right.
welcome everyone, and good evening to the Reseller Clickbait podcast. Well, I say good evening. That's because we're recording it here in the evening. But good
You didn't
morning.
tell me we were going to record this, Ken. This people are going to hear this.
We're going? Is this thing?
Is this on?
Is
Are we live now?
Like
I thought we were doing a test run.
Whew.
I mean, we got some nerves, so I'm very nervous. Ken's a little bit nervous too.
I got to tell you, folks, this is how the entire series is going to go.
Yeah, I'm
it's
going to interrupt
a
Ken
train wreck. Can we change it to the train wreck podcast right now?
Yeah, I mean,
but
if you guys have ever seen me before, I don't even give anybody a chance to talk. So Ken has no chance here, folks. But go ahead, Ken. Continue with your wonderful intro. I just had to break the nerves and the ice a little bit.
I'm just going to sit here and let Jimmy go all evening. Hey, but good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you chose to tune in and listen and or watch. This is our first show for the Reseller Clickbait podcast. And I'm here with my good friend, Jimmy Old School Flips. You all know who he is. And we're just throwing together this podcast to talk about our passion of reselling and more to that is things that go on in the reseller community. We're big fans of YouTube, on YouTube all the time. Such a great community. And we want not only to highlight folks, but just look at things that we're seeing out there, how people are filming videos, things that people are finding that we're not normally looking for, areas that we can learn and maybe pass that along to you guys. So it is a audio podcast as well, so we'll try not to get too visual. Like you see, which over there down there in the corner are
that guy right there. He is good. I mean, that was a good intro. Right now on the video, I'm looking at him directly. You all can't see it on the sound, but that guy, that was great. That was good.
Over here.
Right? Oh, you're over here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Was I looking the wrong way?
It's over here. Clickbait. Look at this logo down here. Clickbait. Jimmy threw together this.
For you like fishing we're doing fans out there,
a fishing show. Like we're going to give hacks on how to build a rod holder out of PVC or something like that. But
hey, in case you don't know how to tie a knot or whatever, here you go. This show's for you.
Tie an arbor knot around for your
maybe that's your calling after all.
Your reel. That's a good tip right there. Hey, there's tip number 1: the arbor knot when you're tying new line onto a reel. So hey, that's the show.
I thought you were going to say tip number 1 is don't let Jimmy attempt to make a logo because
don't give him any responsibility. He's just the eye candy on the show. Just sit over there, Jimmy, and just do what you do. Oh, look at this. He's Vogue. So for those of you who may not know who we are, Jimmy Old School Flips, I'll give you a time here to tell the folks who you are and what you do and why you're here.
All right. Well, it all started when I was 2 years old.
Okay. Move it a little further.
We don't want the Goonies chunk story, like when he tells his whole life and they're going to put his finger in the blender. No, just speed up to now. Okay. Jimmy Old School Flips. I am a full-time reseller out of my basement. I do YouTube, Instagram, and I was doing TikTok for a while. I'm thinking about going back to that. I'm going to, Shay, if you're watching, I'm going to steal some of your idea. I'm not going to dance because that nobody wants to see that. But I'm going to do some of this. I'm going to try to edit like she does because it's amazing with the music and stuff. I think it's fun. So I'm going to go back to TikTok and do some of that stuff. But right now, my biggest focus is YouTube. I'm trying to put out a video every week. I want to get back to it. I'm having fun again. Figured out some things on my editor, so it's going really good. And that's me, man. That's what I do.
Excellent. Man, you're a deep and a complex guy there.
Yeah, I mean, right?
Jimmy?
Can everybody handle that? Like, was that too much? Can we stop the show? See you next week.
You can do this show on your own with those credentials right there.
I mean, you know, I could talk about myself all night long, but I won't do that. Ken, it's your turn to tell us about you.
And I've been
Did you already tell us about you? I wasn't listening.
I didn't. I haven't mentioned one thing about me so far. I've been following Jimmy since he was Uncle B. Uncle B's
Dang,
old
that's
school
a
flips
throwback right there.
way back in the day. You're a throwback, Jimmy, actually.
I am. Look at this.
But my name
I'm
is
vintage.
Ken. This is the part where I talk, Jimmy. I get to talk about me now.
Here, let me mute my mic. I'm gonna mute my mic to protect.
We're gonna protect the innocent. My name is Ken. Some of you know me as SSKPromo or Mr. Bill. And a few of you out there even reference me as El Luchador, the wrestling reseller, a character that comes up every now and then. You might see him out thrifting yard sales. But I am a full-time reseller. I've done a little bit of YouTube, a couple of TikToks up to this point. Throw those TikToks out on Instagram and some shorts.
When you say a couple, I think you mean literally.
Yeah, it's literally 2 TikTok videos that I have, and one is about you, Jimmy. And
right? And that hat to your side right there.
Back here.
For those of you who are listening, he's got my old school flips hat right next to him. So
right there on the El Luchador mask right there. But yeah, I've been reselling full time for a couple of years now, and got into the YouTube game and kind of went away from that because it was I was building my business and just wasn't focusing. And now I feel that I'm at a spot where I've got more of a handle on my schedule and trying to organize that time. So I am going to start a podcast with Jimmy right here and get, now that yard sale season is back around, finally here in my area, got to go to some sales today, and we're going to do it. We're just going to have fun. We're going to try to do this weekly, about 45 minutes to an hour or so, just chat about the week and see what we found and have fun doing it.
I hope so, because I mean, I'm not wasting my time here. If we're not going to have fun, Ken, I got more important things to do. I'm like, again, we talked about, I'm sort of a big deal here
out there. If you're going
to be wasting my time and we're not going to have fun, I'm going to have to hit the road.
We're going to have a blast. I promise. At the end of this, you'll be in stitches. Either you're going to burst an appendix or something like that from the laughter, or
you're going to take a good nap.
Or I'm going to come over and cut you. That one of those two things, you're going to be in stitches. I'm not sure. And I'd cut you, but you're wearing my shirt.
Disclaimer, I was joking, though. I am not a big deal. I know that. I'm aware of that. It's very clear to me. But you'll notice that we're going to joke around with each other a lot. It's because we love each other and we can do that. Like,
yes,
we are going to pick on each other. That's what we do. We both agree that it's okay to interrupt the other person's talking to take.
So anyway, Jimmy, let's move on to the next segment of the show right here. So that's the show right there. It's the Reseller Interruption Podcast.
Yeah, we're changing the name right now.
We'll get a new logo.
I mean, the logo probably sucks, so we might as well change
what kind of logo Jimmy will make for that one.
I do want to talk about the name of the show, though, because how it happened was funny. We were talking about, let's take popular YouTubers and put them, we were just joking around, like, let's take pictures of them and put them in our thumbnails for YouTube. So that way we have people coming because they see, oh, well, this guy's big name on YouTube, so we're going to go watch his video. And then I was like, bing, like, it's a moment.
Clickbait. What actually what happened, we were trying to think of a name to show to really get people to come in and watch the show, and I got it, Jimmy. Let's call the show MD Picker.
That's right. Because like the biggest up and coming channel, and
everybody's watching Shay right now. She's everywhere. I can't turn on YouTube, and Shay's there. And
deservingly so. And so, yeah, Ken,
and
it was all
so
Ken's idea. Let's just be
every thumbnail is going to have Shay in it for the show, and everybody will think that and they'll click, and hence the clickbait, and then that's when the bing went off.
like,
And
I had a moment. I had to go get a drink of water because I was like that was genius. Like, even though he didn't say the name clickbait, he all but said it. And then I was like, that's it. The name of this show is gonna be Reseller Clickbait. So that's why my logo sucks. For all you listening, my logo, the C in click is a fish hook, which doesn't make, I mean, it makes sense to reel them in, but that's it. And it doesn't say reseller in it. Ken made these things all very clear to me that it was a total fail.
nobody knows it's a
And
podcast. It's and
everybody's
I
making a
do you
fishing
notice
show.
for a podcast, I keep pointing down to the corner,
That's
because this is also going to be released on YouTube as a video, and I keep pointing down to the bottom of the
very
screen.
helpful.
So
Very helpful for the listeners, Ken.
perhaps I need to get like a little sound effect for when I point at stuff, because I'm visual. I talk with my hands a lot, so maybe like a little or something like that every time I point to something. But so we're hey, let's get into the show here. We've been talking
Enough
for
about ourselves and our
yeah,
lack of creativity. Gotcha.
because I'm sure I was going to start a stopwatch for this, and I forgot to start it. So we might run a little long on the
We
first show.
technical difficulty on the first show. We don't know how long this is going to be. It could be a 35-minute podcast. It could be a 2-hour podcast because of technical difficulties, folks.
So we will, probably start out a lot each week, just talking about our week, how things went. What'd you do? What'd you find? What's a cool video that you saw? So I'll throw it out there, Jimmy.
Yeah.
How was your week?
How was my week? Very busy. I had the other side of the other side of sourcing and being a reseller. Literally the other side. I had a yard sale this weekend, and it took us 3 days. So I bought some storage lockers, had a ton of stuff. So it took me and my wife Sonia 3 days to get it ready for the sale because there was just so much stuff. And today was actually earlier today. We had the sale, and it was like super busy, like nonstop people all day. I didn't even get to sit down. Excuse me. Just like when we closed it down, me and Sonia were both completely exhausted. And we started putting stuff away back into the garage while people were shopping because we were done. And then after we put everything back into the garage, people were still shopping inside the garage. And we were like, that's fine. Go ahead.
You didn't close anybody in the garage, did you?
Yeah, they were in the garage shopping on the stuff that we brought in there. And I'm not lying. There were 7 people in our garage shopping after we were done. And me and Sonia were just standing out like we were strangers in our own garage, standing outside of it, watching people continue to shop. But it was also an extra $100 and something that we made in that last half hour of. So yeah, that's the other side of it. We made over $700 in one day on a yard sale. Nice. So I wouldn't change it.
You're having this tomorrow too? You're gonna
we are what's the glutton for punishment? We are doing it again tomorrow.
Excellent. So you probably didn't do any sourcing today other than that, just all sales. That's a good day.
I'm gonna be sourcing here in 40 minutes on a Facebook buy for a Nintendo DS with games. So that's the only sourcing I did today.
Okay.
Or for this week for the most part.
And that's a done deal? You got that? Or
yes, yep. We've already agreed to meet at 7:00.
7 p.m. Well, we better hurry up then.
No, we're good because Sonia will go if I'm still doing this. If I'm still tied up in this obligation that Ken dragged me into, then Sonia will make the sacrifice.
When you sign a contract, Jimmy, it's binding. It's legal and binding, and you got to go through with it.
Could you make out that scribble, by the way, when I signed it? It's pretty bad. My signature is pretty bad.
I thought you had spilled your lunch on there. I didn't know you actually signed it. That was maybe a little soy sauce or something like that down in the corner
Ooh.
of the.
It could have been soy sauce and my signature. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the sales finally, and in our area here, the weather broke some today, and there was two sales listed in my area. The one started about 8 o'clock this morning. I got there about quarter till, and the garage was just full of people. They had stuff in the driveway. There was probably 40 people
Yeah, yeah.
in that garage,
People are itching to get out there, man.
and it was just, it was shoulder to shoulder. You just look at what you could see in front of you and then move over a little bit, and just hope that the guy didn't grab something that you spotted on the end of the table. It's like, don't take it, don't take it.
Now, do you think your height gives you an advantage because you can see over people and across tables and stuff?
Yeah, it probably does. And I got a pretty long reach too.
Yeah,
I'm not one to push in front of somebody, except, for a really good deal. If I see something, I actually didn't buy mine. Bought a few things at that sale, but nothing that was spectacular, or it was all going to be profit for sure. But
now I got a question.
yeah,
Again, we're going to interrupt each other, and I'm going to ask a
go.
lot of questions. Now, when you said, and I feel like this is the elder generation that uses this kind of terminology, the weather broke. Okay, my
Yes.
question is, what was the weather like before, and what does the weather breaking look like? Like what was the weather break
Well,
for this weekend?
here's what I will say. I will back up less than a week from today. Last Sunday, which was Easter Sunday, I actually did yard work. I went out, picked up sticks, I mowed the yard, and I live right next to my folks. And so I mow my property and their property, and we had family over for Easter,
Are you telling
and
Forrest Gump right now?
I
Sorry, just go ahead.
family for Easter, and we played some yard games. We were out having fun. Monday, I had to shovel the walk between my house and the garage.
Okay, so
So that lets you know
it snowed a little bit.
it snowed Monday morning. We got about 3 inches of snow on Monday.
All
So,
right.
now we're up to Friday here, and it was mid 60s,
Oh,
bright
nice,
sunshine.
nice. All right.
It was a good day, because usually when it has got warm around here, the wind's been 40 mile an hour, and it's
Yeah,
been,
that's here.
raining, and so the weather broke.
The weather broke.
And I checked the Farmer's Almanac to find out when sales were going to open.
He got the he had to. If you tell me that you were reading the Farmer's Almanac while sitting on the throne,
On
when
the
I say throne, I mean you know what I mean. Then we're done here. Like then we're done.
and
If you
so
keep
I
the
I actually had
almanac
to
on
get
the
out of
back,
bed early. I got up, I checked the sundial that I have outside my back door window, and said sales were at 8 a.m. But
is that
so yeah,
accurate? That you said you were there a quarter till. Is that by the sundial time? Were you accurate there?
I was
All right.
there, but everybody I don't know if it was or not, because everybody was there. The garage was full
You know
before
what?
I got there. So
If they were all your age, then they're
um
all going sundial anyways. And I can say that because I'm not too far behind yet.
just really close. If I turned around on my birthday, you'd be right there. But so yeah, it was good to get out finally, and get to some sales. And there were, like say, there was a couple, picked up a few good things. I love watching videos of other people and finding things that I normally wouldn't look for, normally wouldn't pick up. And then does this happen to you? You watch, like, stuff isn't even on your radar, and then you go to a sale, and hey, there it is. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
example today, it's like, one of the things I picked up was like a Sony under the cabinet um, CD player, and I see you probably watch Adam, Baldy Powell Picking.
Yeah.
If you don't, go check out Adam.
Who's that?
And he picks those up all the time. Every time he sees them at the thrift, hey, look out for these, look out for these. I walk up to this last sale that wasn't advertised. I was just now chasing signs or looking around neighborhoods. And well, the lady actually didn't even have a sign out. There was just stuff sitting out front. I was hoping she was having a yard sale when I pulled in the drive and started rummaging through her stuff. But so it's like, oh, hey, poo, that person, I've heard somebody talk about these. Let's check this item out. And
the memory's still working, so that's good for you.
It is. I'm still good. I got my I pull out my handy notepad, still write that stuff down.
What size? We discussed the font size that you use. What do you use, a Sharpie, and like, is this like a full page notepad?
One
yellow one
per note. I use the big ruled, I don't use college ruled. I can't see that. I use the elementary thing, and the big blue number 2 pencil, or whatever size that is, a number.
All right.
8, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, just seeing stuff that other resellers sell. Did you happen to see, you watch Kayla, homeschooling?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Picker? She had some great finds this week on items. I walk by clothes racks. I'm not a clothes guy. I'm mostly I do electronics, video games, toys, lots of plush, things like that. But
well, like, I look at clothes, and I definitely stop at the clothes rack, and I'm looking vintage, right? I'm looking for vintage. I'm looking for vintage sports stuff. I'm looking for rock t-shirt, concert t-shirts, stuff like that. You know what the last thing I'm looking for?
What's that?
Is paint splattered pants.
Yes,
that's the last thing I'm looking for. How in the heck, man?
What were they? Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
So I know to look for Ralph Lauren. They were like a khaki pair of, they were like distressed, but they had paint splotches on them, and it was designed that way.
Right. I thought I was watching American Arbitrage for a second there. I thought I was watching Carrie and Dawn, because they always have paint splatter. Who knew that they were ahead of the fashion game, right? Like, how Carrie is on it. He's already ahead of Polo Ralph Lauren, wearing the paint splattered pants around town, because Kayla found these pants, right? Like you were saying. And they were splattered like they just painted the house all over them. And then what were they worth, Ken? What were these pants worth?
90. I think she comped them or showed $99, $99 for that one pair of pants. And I forget what they were paying, like $5. I think all the clothing on that rack was like $5.
She found more than one pair, right?
There was another pair. It was like a green. It was a ugly green pair that had martini glasses all over. It's a pair of pants with martini glasses all over. $75. Those things comp for.
Wow. Now, which pair would you rock, Ken? Which pair would we catch you walking down the street in?
Well,
if you had to choose.
Well, I'm probably going to go with the ones with the paint on them, because most of my clothes are just they look like that anyway. But it comes from just poor laundering, maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you.
Careful. I was going to say, if you were looking for vintage clothes, Jimmy, why don't you just check out your closet?
That's true.
You probably got one of those tweed jackets in there with the patches on the pockets or on the elbows.
Corduroy for sure.
Yeah.
Now, I myself would go with the martini glasses, but I would put those suckers on and they would stretch out and they'd look more like saucers on the side. It's not a martini glass.
Jimmy got his dinner plate pants on again.
Why is that guy wearing punch bowls on his pants? Yeah, so neither one of those would work for me.
And she found, what else? There were some polo, like were they sweaters? A polo sweater or something
they were like
they were like like a real abstract, real colorful design. Again, I wouldn't have even given a look twice at it. And I think there was two of those
It's
sweaters.
like something you would wear down to the tennis court on a cool day, is what it
Exactly.
was like.
Me and Muffy down at the
Yeah.
tennis courts getting.
While you're
Um,
drinking your martini.
so yeah, and I don't know brands. I'm not a clothing guy. I'm not
Yeah.
a brand guy. So of course you've heard of Polo and Ralph
So
Lauren, and
it's a
so
bit.
today I'm at the sales,
Uh-oh.
and I'm clothes racks. I'm gonna find me some martini pants right here, and I'm going through, and it's like, Faded Glory, it's George, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
wait, am I looking through my closet? I buy these at Walmart, but
Well, yeah, you have to be really careful though, because even with Polo Ralph Lauren, it's a very oversaturated market, and most of the stuff does not. It will sell, but it could take you literally a year to move like a regular polo shirt.
yeah,
It's got to be like what Kayla found. It's got to have a really cool theme to it. They have some nautical stuff that's Tommy Hilfiger. Like Tommy Hilfiger has nautical stuff that does well. So when you get into those brands, you really got to look for those like specific designs if you want it to sell fast and for more money. I'm not saying you can't sell regular shirts. It's just going to take longer unless you're like the king of Polo Ralph Lauren. Some of
that,
those brands you just named right now, you'll never sell.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
I don't even know
I
those brands. What were those brands again from your closet?
like Faded Glory
Faded
and
Glory,
George, and
Arizona.
yeah, and those, just go to Walmart right now and look on the racks. Any of
Right.
those brands.
Russell Athletic.
Yeah. But
Yeah, that's
I don't even know what brand. Hey, people can't see this on an audio podcast, but
oh
I
yeah,
did
yeah.
for the first show ever. I'll show it for the video. I wore my shirt that I got from Paul Philly Flipper to support his efforts that he was doing to help support
Yep.
the Ukrainian folks, and it has picture of his dog. I think it's Sasha. Is it Sasha?
I think so.
Is his dog, and holding the Ukrainian flag, the blue and yellow field on that. So shout out to Paul and his
Yeah.
efforts and the community that all came together for that cause. And there's lots of other folks that were doing things to help support. And that's kind of what we're talking about in this podcast as well, is the YouTube community, not only what they're finding and what
Yep.
we see, but their support of one another is just I know Kevin is doing some stuff, and Troy Mountain Man and them are just all
Like
helping support one another. So
Ken supporting me by paying me to come on this show. We had, that contract was not just signed without a little bit of
signed in
financial.
gravy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, the support is there. Joking aside, like Sonia got the memo. Sonia's wearing her shirt from Paul as well today. During the
Excellent.
yard sale, she was wearing it. So yeah, I mean, we were definitely wanted to help Paul in every way possible we could as well. And I agree with you totally. This community is awesome, and they definitely are always trying to help each other. Yeah.
And I'm sure this after we edit and get everything together, this will be probably in the first of the week that it comes out. But just a shout out to Paul. Today is Paul's birthday.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
so happy birthday to you, my friend.
Oh, you're friends with him on Facebook, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
must be nice.
close personal friends. We're like this. Hey, speaking of old vintage clothing though,
Yeah.
and other retube sellers,
VTubers? Hold on.
retubers. These are
ReTubers.
people that just started doing it again.
Is that like the guys that fix the tubes at the water park when they go flat?
They're
They're
retubers.
what would we're gonna go off track here. What
Okay.
would a retuber do? The job that Ken just made up, retuber. In the comments below, let us know what a retuber is, by the way.
Yes.
And try to keep it PG.
This is a family show, somewhat. But we were talking about the vintage clothing and things that you look for, mostly vintage. And I saw one this week. Joe Philly Picker. Now we're still in Philly, but we're
Yes.
gonna
A lot
we're
of
gonna
Philly
move
love
over to
today.
Joe.
It's well deserved.
And
Now
here
I saw that on Instagram.
an amazing deal. He found what in the bottom of in the attic. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
he
in an
said he
attic.
found in the attic. Nobody, it was at an estate sale. Nobody had searched the attic. And he goes up there and there's all this vintage clothing. And he
Man,
picked up it
epic.
was a
I'll tell you what it was because I'm gonna definitely interrupt
did
you
you
for
buy
this.
it?
I did not. It wouldn't fit me. Come on.
You haven't got your first check from the show yet.
I
So
have not.
which
You
will
make
more than
sure you spell
cover it.
my. You want? I'll make sure how it makes my name is spelled correctly because it can be a fun one to spell. I was scrolling through Instagram like I do, still learning Instagram. I mean,
I don't understand Instagram.
and I like literally this thumbnail pops up and all I see is this beautiful purple and like almost tie-dye look to it shirt with Darth Maul. Big right on the front of the shirt, and it's got the tags hanging from the collar,
It's like an
like from the neck.
all over print Darth. Oh man.
So Star Wars, and it was branded Lee, like Lee jeans, which surprised me. I didn't know
Lee Sports is what.
Lee Sports. Okay,
Yeah.
and so I was like, one thing I want to say is like, good for Joe for using multiple platforms like that. Like he put it on YouTube, then he put it on Instagram. He's doing the right things, doing it the right way. And I clicked on it and I watched that video and I was like, $750 he got for that shirt.
$750.
And I was like, I have to share this. So I created an Instagram saying you have to go see this sell. Like, I can't believe Joe found that. Like, how are you finding that in an attic? Like you said, it's crazy. And man, so it's out there, folks. There are gems out there to be found.
Sometimes you just got to look in the attic as well.
And
when even if you're not invited, even if you're not like you're at a regular garage sale, just go in the house.
Go in the attic, yeah.
Go up in the attic, go in the basement, dig through stuff.
Walk through the kitchen, grab a sandwich out of the fridge, maybe a bottle of water. Pet the dog if it's a nice dog. If it's like an aggressive dog, you might want to scurry a little faster to the attic. Scurry. Yeah, because you do not want to get bit by. Well, actually, we don't want to go down that path.
No, you shouldn't walk into somebody's houses uninvited. But
ladies and gentlemen, do not break and enter. You did not hear that.
But maybe you could ask politely, may I go in your house and go through your personal
that brings
belongings?
up a good point. That's something you should always do at a yard. So hey, do you have a Darth Maul shirt in your
new with tags from 1989
shirt in your attic? I know it's a very specific question, but I was told I should ask that at yard sales.
One day somebody will go, oh, wait.
One day.
No, I don't.
Matter of fact, funny you should ask.
Oh, but yeah, that again, some of the things that we're talking about, just I'm going to recover what you said about how Joe did that and how the different platforms throwing that out there on, if he would have just made the YouTube video, somebody, you might have missed it. I watch a lot of Joe's, I'm a real close personal friend of Joe's. And, I know you said you could take or leave him. No,
Right.
No, Joe's great, but just being able to, you saw it on Instagram. Is that where you said you saw it on Instagram?
Yeah,
and then that made you go over and check out his YouTube video. So those are
he put it in his story, which I'm learning stories and they're fun. I actually really enjoy making a story now, even though my stories aren't particularly fun. I enjoy other people's stories. And he put in a story. That's actually where you can. So for those of you that don't know Instagram, that's where you can actually put a link to the video in the story. So that's where saw it in a story, saw the link. Then, because I'm learning stories, I created a story and I put the link there too. So now potentially my followers will go over to Joe's video and watch it too. Supporting the community like Ken talked about. That's why I like stories. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And you're sticking to it.
Yeah.
Speaking of another story that I saw in the community, Dave NC Picker from
I know where you're going.
NC Picker channel and Trash to Cash podcast. If you're not listening to that, go check them out. Watch one of his latest videos, and it is actually a good lesson. You and I had talked about this, where he had paid for an item twice at a yard sale. Yep. Found a good deal, paid for some toys, then looked around, started talking to the guy that was running the sale. Picked up some more items, and then paid for the total of everything, and paid for the items twice. And
so he put together a lot of toys, like a bunch of toys together, offered to buy them all, paid for them on the spot, right?
Yes.
And then go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, that's
you go ahead. No, you.
I've done. No, wait.
No,
okay.
you.
Welcome
to the
first episode of the Resellers Interruption podcast. We're going to design a new logo. That's going to have probably like a NASCAR
have
or
me
something
not shutting up and Ken just sitting in the corner like this guy never shuts up.
But I do that if I'm at a sale and I see an item that is a good price and I can't leave there without it, I'm paying for it right away. That belongs to me. And then I'll go search around. You know, normally I'm a pile builder. You
just sound like Jimmy Stewart. I'm a pile builder.
Jimmy,
I gotta wait till I edit that. I'm a pile builder.
I like to build a pile. See?
And there goes Jimmy interrupting again. But listen, I'm the Bob Ross of podcasts. I'm trying to paint a picture for everybody. Painting pictures for the listeners.
Happy little resellers.
Continue with your story.
It's I'm a pile builder. See, I did the again.
But you did it fast and no.
I like to.
I'm a pile builder.
I like to build a pile when I'm at a yard sale and try to make one deal on everything. But if there's a really good item, I'm going to throw that money out there first, so it's secured and it's mine, and somebody else isn't going to come along. Because I've had built a pile before, and then somebody else comes along, starts digging through it. Then you have that awkwardness of yelling across somebody's driveway. That's my stuff.
That happened so many times today at my sale, by the way.
And well, hey, that's good. Hey, it's good when you're selling it. But or have you done this? I've actually paid for stuff before, and then same as like Dave was doing, you get to talking to the folks, and just I like to have fun with people at sales and go look at other things, and then buy another pile and then walk off, and you don't have the item that you paid for first. You forgot to put it in your pile.
So you left it behind.
I left it behind after I paid for it. So not only did I'm still out the money.
Ken. That's pretty bad. I don't know that that's happened to me because it must not have been a very exciting item for starters that you left behind. Like it probably didn't comp very well. You were up on the fence about buying it because most resellers, when they see something that's really good, they're not. But I get it. Do you remember the item
that I left?
Yeah.
No, probably wasn't. It's usually one of those things where you pay for it, and then because you think you're done, and then it's like, oh wait, what's that under that table? What's that over there? And you set something down. But I don't know exactly what it was, but I have done that. I have left an item at a sale. You go back later, not there, or if you remember when you get home at the end of the day and you're trying to go through it's like, didn't I buy that box
I'm gonna have a moment of honesty. I've done something the opposite Um, I might link
You
that video
took
down
stuff to
below.
somebody's yard sale and left
I
it
would,
there?
huh?
You took stuff to somebody's yard sale and just left it there?
Yeah, I
You
did.
took your own
No, I
stuff?
did the opposite of Dave, not the opposite of you.
Oh, okay.
I took some
The
stuff there. I was
reverse
like,
yard
you
sale.
guys can sell this. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
actually
tub
everybody I
too.
think has done that. I've said, here, you have a yard sale, here you go. No, I did the opposite of Dave, and I'll link that if I remember. I always forget, but I'll try to remember to link the video down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, um, I had a sale that it was parents and a teenage boy. They were all moving, and they were selling everything, and there was a ton of toys everywhere. My stuff that I want to buy, model kits, nerd. I call it nerd stuff, and I feel like I can say that because I'm a nerd. I love nerd
This is
stuff.
true.
And this kid the parents were letting, now I say he was probably 17, 18. They were letting him price his stuff. And I would go buy a handful of stuff. How much for this? He'd say $10. Then another handful, he'd say $10. Well, I was editing the video and I felt awful because I forgot to pay him. Because again,
Oh,
I was paying literally, he'd say $10, here you go, $10. He'd say, now there is something that saves the day on this.
okay.
Um,
I got to hear this because we've already told people to break and enter into
yeah.
somebody's house. Now
Now
we're
we're
going
teaching you
to
to steal from kids.
now
We're
thievery
real role models
from
here.
children.
Maybe you should just don't do what we do, folks. We're gonna have to put like a disclaimer. Do not
Disclaimer at
try
the
this
bottom.
at home. So I'm buying as he's saying, I'm handing him money and then I'm putting it in my pile. I don't know why I did it that way. It was awful. So I was making my pile, but I would pay him as I went. Kind of like you said, like I don't want to miss out on this stuff, so I was paying for it. Well, at one time I forgot to pay him for a pile because I got distracted by some other stuff. And so I got distracted. I went over and I said, how much for this? And he said $10 or whatever. And so I paid him for that pile, but I didn't pay him for the previous pile. And when I was editing it, I'm telling you guys, I felt terrible. I was like, I didn't pay him for
Did
that
you
other
did you
pile.
leave that video evidence in the video then?
Oh, you better, because
So did you
I
edit that out? So
I cut it out because, and I'm not big time, so I should have just left it. But I felt bad. I really did. And you can get ridiculed pretty bad on YouTube for something like that. Deservingly so. If I don't feel like I didn't do it on purpose. It's very obvious when I watch, and I knew like when I watched it, I didn't realize it until I was editing. I had no clue. And when I was editing, I was like, man, I just did that. Real quick, like there was one time, obviously a huge channel, Matt Part-Time Picker, accidentally did that too. And the negative feedback that he got was crazy. And it was unfair because I watched the video and it was 100% by accident. And Matt actually made up for it by doing something really awesome with the money from that sale. So, and he, again, it can happen. So that's what made me cut it out because I was learning from what happened to Matt.
yeah.
This is a long story, but I'm almost done. But what did save me is because he sold me stuff. I mean, the video's called I filled my car because the car was full. On the last purchase, he said everything was $10 at the sale. He said $10. And it was almost like, I'm so thankful that I did this. Fortunately, I wasn't as kind as I thought. I was trying to be like, this kid sold me a lot of good stuff. He's moving across country. He's having to sell his toys. So I said, you know what? Here's 20. Keep the change. Thank you for all your great deals. So I ended up paying for it in the end, but my good deed was wiped out.
Not at the time. Yeah.
That was a long story. You could have interrupted me like I do to you, Ken.
I was interested. That was a great. That's probably the best story I've heard.
Yeah. Heavy sigh
actually in the
wake
last,
up.
It's things happen like that. And it is unfortunate sometimes that the comments in YouTube or on an Instagram or a TikTok that people will pick up on something. But hey, that goes with the territory and that's what we're looking for comments here to throw stuff down. If you're watching on YouTube, this podcast we're planning on getting out on all of the major podcast sites, if you get them on iTunes or Google or Spotify, this should be available on all of those. And I'm not sure, this is our first one, so I'm not sure how comments or what can happen on those, but feel free to leave a comment, and in
us
upcoming videos we will.
Since we are challenged at social media and stuff like this,
and
we don't know if you can
everything else.
actually leave a comment in a podcast. So I'm not 100% sure.
So tell us in the comments, are you able to leave a comment on?
So yeah, tell us in the comments if you can leave. But we know you can on YouTube. So guys, please, questions, comments, whatever. Make you can make fun of us. Just don't. We know how to take a joke, so you can make fun of us.
Make fun of Jimmy.
And remember, we both know we're gonna have fun on this show. We like to joke around with each other. A lot of the stuff is just me joking around with Ken, him joking around with me. Just a little disclaimer there. And that's how this show's gonna be. We're gonna have fun and we're gonna joke around, and hopefully one day we have guests.
Yes. Lots of good folks. If anybody else wants to associate with us, that's the thing. Yeah. Jimmy and I are friends because nobody else likes us. First, right? We were those two kids on the playground that just kind of
picked last.
Jimmy played tetherball by himself.
I was terrible at tetherball.
I never understood the game. Never understood the point of tetherball. And of course, I've been 6'2", 200 pounds since kindergarten, so I was never beat at tetherball. I just had to reach over the kid's head.
You were like, there's a movie where they play tetherball, and it's at the end of it, what's the Napoleon Dynamite, and he's tall and she's short, and
I hated that movie.
You hated that movie?
I hated.
All right, it's time to go, folks. So this was the show, and this will be the last show. Now,
the last show.
He hates that movie.
Jimmy and I are no longer friends because I didn't get it. There again,
that's the whole point of the movie. There was nothing to get.
I have a great sense of humor, and I just the kooky stuff that I think up. Some of the ideas that I ran by Jimmy for the show, he's like, no, we're not. He's like, we're not gonna do that.
Hey, but I did do the one where you said, "Hey, Jimmy, make a really bad logo, and then we'll make fun of it."
And the only advice that he actually took, I mean,
make the worst logo you can think of, and make it.
We were going to do what, like backpack dance party. That was going to be a good one.
Pillow fight, even though we're not even in the same.
There was a Speedo competition. We were going to see.
No, people are going to have nightmares now.
You had to go to the beach. Those where people, I bought the shirt off a guy's back, or I bought this guy's hat. We're going to go to the beach and buy Speedos.
Twice today at my yard sale, I was tempted. This guy was wearing a vintage Ford Bronco hat, and I was like, but he no habla inglés, so I couldn't buy his hat. And then there was a vintage concert T-shirt. I was like, I want to ask if I could buy his shirt, but I didn't
buy the shirt off his back. So,
man, we've been going for 50 minutes, dude. Your timer is off.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because it says I have a little bit more time.
So I now know that while recording, I have a timer, so I can let you know if your technical difficulties happen. I can let you know that we've been going for 49 minutes and 33, 34, 35.
You're just telling me that we're going to be done, and then you'll cut my camera off, and then, hey, there's Sonia right there in the background. So those hey, look at this. We're like
twinsies. Got the memo.
Sonia is, for those of you listening, Sonia is Jimmy's lovely wife, who is quite frankly a better picker than he is if you watch the videos. But she just showed up in the background here, and she also has a shirt that came from Paul Philly Flipper with Sasha and the Ukrainian flag. So good to see her, and she's probably getting ready to go en route for that PS or that pickup, right? The Switch, or
she's actually telling me I got to run, Ken. Which is a perfect ending to the show. I mean,
hey, so let's. What do you got coming up? You got some. this
What do I
week?
got coming up?
What's new?
YouTube
What are we
video.
gonna?
There might not be a video this week, but I'm hanging out. You guys check out Sunny Las Vegas. I hang out with him every Thursday night. We do a live, and I'm going to Vegas. I'm meeting him in person.
Yes.
I'm going to. Let's talk about that next week after the fact when I get back, and I can tell everybody about how that went.
Do we want to mention what it is? Where you're going? What's going on?
I'm going to the Trash to Cash podcast meetup in Vegas to meet.
Man, that is sweet. Everybody's going to be there. Dave, Carrie from Trash to Cash, Sunny Las Vegas.
When you say everybody, I noticed you left Kevin out. I don't know if he's going to appreciate that.
Yeah, Kevin.
Because you said everybody, and then you said Dave and Carrie, and you very obviously left out Kevin.
So
I'm gonna actually message him right now and say Ken doesn't like you.
Ken has no. Oh, and I have something that I'll reveal next week's show. But yeah, Sunny Las Vegas, the art of resell is a guy that we've been talking about.
I hope to meet him.
You got to
go talk about him next
Art's
week.
channel. We'll talk about his video and the way that he edits his style, and that's great. But again, we're gonna wrap this up for the first episode. Going to go out here in the first of the week. Leave comments wherever you can. Leave comments. Again, we're not sure where you can leave comments, but so everybody have a good week. And Jimmy, be safe in your travels to Las Vegas. Have fun hoping for some video footage from there.
Oh, there will be footage.
We will see you next week. Everybody have a great week and good profitable week. And we'll check you next time.